Hello everyone, welcome to next session. In this session, we will understand the project structure which we will be using to understand the all the Wiremock concepts and features. So to start with, this is the default Maven structure, which is created project structure which is created by Maven. So this is the root directory, and we have the subdirectories within that. So the main ones are the main is the quite important directory, I would say. So this has the source code and the resources within it. So here the next comes the test directory. So I would like to highlight a few things here. So here we are not discussing or doing anything about the testing or the tests. So we are not using any JUnit test to integrate with the Wiremock. We are simply creating a standalone server, and you can use that in your JUnit test but in a different project. It's up to you. You can use it in a different project or in the same project. But here we are not embedding the Wiremock within the your JUnit test, or suppose the REST assured test. It is altogether a separate server we are building. And so the next thing I would say is, so most of our code, almost all the code, will go under the Java directory, this one, right? So we will create two packages, stubs and utils. So within the stubs, so to make this simpler, what we will do is, so we will use the user API with request response API, which we have discussed, to mock that API to understand all the features, right? So what we will do here is, so we have different levels of concept in the Wiremock. Like we have request matching, we have advanced concepts like state scenarios, we are proxying. So I will create a class, separate class for each of those concepts, so that is easy to understand and easy to maintain also. Within each class we will have different stubs. So suppose within the request match we have five type of request match, we will create five methods to understand each of those things, right? So all those classes will go in this stubs package. And utils package I have created for reading or the JSON file. So that will be much more clear when we will implement this. So we will simply create a utils package, and within that we will have JSON class, right? And the next thing is the master class. So master class, or you can say driver class, this will be used to call the methods within the stubs classes. We will simply instantiate the objects of the class or stub classes within the master class. So master class will have the main method, right? Simply instantiate using the master class, and we objects of these stub classes, and we'll call the methods which are required, right? So we will use the method chaining concept also there, so that our code is much more readable. And the next thing is resources, which is quite important. So resources directory we need to create explicitly. When you will create the project, it is not created by default, you need to create it. So this is the structure of the which Wiremock follows. You can use this structure only. So one will be within the resources, we will create a files directory and the mappings directory. So the files directory, it is same like we have done when we started the Wiremock standalone server through jar using command prompt. So these files will have all the JSON files which will be request or the response file, and mappings will be the mappings which Wiremock used to match the incoming request to understand to figure out which response will be sent, right? So this all this concept will be quite clear when we start with our first session. And the pom.xml file, so this is for to define the dependencies. So we have already imported the dependencies, that is the Wiremock jar, right? We have imported the Wiremock library, all the classes. One more thing to note here is, we are not limited to only this structure, so we will optimize the code as and when required, or maybe at the end of the session, end of the course, we will optimize the code, and we will create more package and classes as per required to enhance the readability and also to make this more intelligent, right? So I think so you all are quite excited to get started. Let's move to our first hands-on session. Thank you.